What is going on, good people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say That Podcast. You already know my drill. Don't say this, say that. Hey. I want to thank everybody tuning in my last episode with my boy Maxed Out. It was a really insightful one. Make sure you go stream his album right now. It's out everywhere, and make sure you run back that episode too. And as always, remember to follow me on Instagram. It's REPETE617 is my personal, and say_that_pod is the podcast page on Instagram. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that subscribe button as well to really help grow this podcast even further. But today I know we get into the meat and potatoes of 2026. We're starting the year off right. And this is one of those episodes where this is starting the year off right for me, because this man who's my guest today, if you haven't seen him around doing his thing, then you're missing out on a lot of good shit. So I want to give a big shout out to my man, all the way from Worcester, too. That's how you respect the grind.
Hey.
What's up, Sumit? How we doing, baby?
Appreciate you having me, Pete.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Say that. What up?
How we doing? How was your 2026 been so far?
It's been crazy, bro. It's been good. I'm looking forward to everything we got coming out for the rest of the year, for sure. Because
you're always on the move, you know what I mean?
Always, bro.
Yeah, so that's why I got to run down this list real quick, because your 2025 season, we'll call it, right? It was one for the books, all right? Let me run down a list here real quick, right? Okay. We got a collab album with the great Termanology that charted number 8 on iTunes. We got a song.
Shout out to Term.
Yes, sir, of course. Shout out to Term. We got a song on that same album with the legendary Method Man, right?
Ammunition.
Yep. You dropped Find a Way.
Yep.
We got songs with Murder B, Millyz, Dave East, and now Lihtz, which we'll get into in a minute. And you were also accepted to the Grammy Academy as well.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So anything I missed, how was that? How was it just sitting back and taking that all and like, damn, like I had a crazy year.
Did a song with Exit Fame at the top of the year. Yes, sir. Shout out to Exit, just to keep it local. Dropped a song with J1.
Okay.
Called War and Glory. That's Jada's son.
Yep, that's Jada's son. That's right.
Yep. You did a great job, bro. I'm not saying that you missed any. I don't want to miss any.
That's what you know what I mean. I wanted to make sure, like, I got the
song with Tyler Yahweh. It's a funky song called The Encore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a crazy year, bro. It was a crazy year for sure.
So how are you able to kind of sit back, right? You take that all in while you're prepping for the next step in your career.
Honestly, bro, I haven't sat back at all. I've been trying to really get my ducks in a row for this year and do everything that I can to start with a bang. That's what we tried to do with this first single this year. And yeah, just not let up. Just keep the momentum going as much as possible, for sure. Of
course.
Yeah.
Now, one story I remember about you, and I think it's the first time I met you, it was at the Exit Fame show. I believe it was one of those shows. Either he was performing or it was a joint show. Okay. And not that you had to sell you to me, right? I was already sold. I already respected the hustle. I heard the music. I'm like, this guy's got it.
I appreciate it.
But what really stuck out was you took an Uber from Worcester all the way to the Middle East.
Facts.
In Cambridge. Not obviously the Middle East overseas, but for those who don't know what the Middle East is or watching. But I was like, wow, this kid's got it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you're a man, but I call everyone a fucking kid.
I don't take offense to that.
Right, you get it. You know what I mean? I was like, this guy's got it. And it made me think wow, he really wants this more than other rappers. So not to call other rappers lazy, but do you feel like your grind is kind of what really separates you from the rest of the field?
I think that if you feel like other people are outworking you, then you're losing already. So I don't feel like anybody's gonna outwork me or you know what I mean, or anybody has a grind that's harder. But everybody has their own life and their dedication to it is subject to them. For me, that was more so Exit asked me to pull up, and I want to be there anyways, but I'll definitely pull up for him, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. So that's more like my homie reaching out and being like, yo, do you want to get on stage with me? You know what I'm saying? And I'll just do that. I don't really look at anything like this. I've said this before, but it dead ass is the truth. I don't look at anything in terms of difficulty. Nothing in my mind is too hard, or I try not to feel sorry for myself about whatever I got going on. So it doesn't. I don't think of shit oh, this is so hard on me. I really don't. No matter what I got to do, I'm just gonna do it. I don't got no other choice. So whatever it takes to do it, that's what I have to do.
No, absolutely, and that's a great way of putting it, because it's easy to rest on your laurels. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to just kind of sit back and be like, damn, what am I doing wrong, or my career's not going the way should be. It's more so internal, right? Like no one's gonna do this shit for you, bro.
Right.
Like you
Facts.
really have to do it yourself. And if that means, Ubering all the way from Worcester to the Middle East, which is a hike, I could imagine.
At least it ain't the Middle East like
That's what
Iran
I mean.
and
Right?
Iraq.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit. I don't even think it's not even possible to do that.
But yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like that's kind of what is gonna already separate you from the field in the consumer's eyes. Because, like I said, there is no selling you to me. I'm already sold. But
I appreciate it.
It's stories like that kind of grow that legend, where it's like, this guy's really is willing to do anything, and he sees his sights in the clear view mirror, and it's like all of this is possible.
I appreciate
what I'm saying?
it, bro.
So
yeah.
Absolutely. But let's get into it. You got Luka out right now featuring Lihtz.
Yep.
Talk to me how this track came together, because I can hear some great chemistry on this one.
Yeah. So this was, first of all, shout out to Lihtz
Absolutely.
and his team. Song came out crazy. He had a crazy 2025 himself. Like he had a song called Crash Out, where he had Friday and Meek Mill on the remix, and it was out of here. It was just crazy. Meek,
Is he from Philly?
yeah, he's from Philly. Meek brought him out on one of his shows. I just saw, like, it was just insane, like the whole crowd singing and shit. Lihtz had a crazy year. But this came about from, speaking of E-Double, I just came back from him from jamming, but he put this collaboration together. He had a producer that he had taken under his wing. Shout out to Cosmos Beats. He was like, yo, I think that a track would work. I have Lihtz coming in for an interview. And he kind of like facilitated it. Shout out to Casso. I know you've had him on.
Absolutely.
Casso was the engineer at Phoenix Down. Shout out to them. So E-Double kind of put us all in position to put the track together. And it came out great. Yeah.
Because and I'll tell you this a little bit later, but we'll speak on it. But it's just one of the many collabs that you're like, wow, like it's another one in the history books, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did want to ask you, so you're from out here, right? Worcester. He's from Philly. Both places don't fuck with the Lakers.
Right.
So why'd y'all call it Luka?
Right. So that came just like in his last line in the in his verse.
Yeah.
He says, my white boy ball too, he like Luka Doncic.
Okay.
So we kind of took that, and the chorus doesn't have anything that was like super like catchy that like it needed to be or like necessitated a title necessarily. So we kind of took the Luka and ran with that.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think it's funny because it's like on the I-95, right? We don't fuck with LA. We don't fuck with New York.
Right.
Hell, Boston really don't fuck with Philly in terms of sports.
That's
so it's
true,
like
too, yeah.
I was thinking of like,
That's true, too.
maybe call it Tatum.
The
or
original cover art I tried to do like through AI, and I was trying to put all three sports NBA teams together. So I was trying to have some of the Lakers, some of the Sixers, and then some of the Celtics.
Yeah.
But it looked a little funky. I liked it, but not as much as like wasn't as clean as like just when you did it just the Lakers colors.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at least the creative vision's there.
Yeah,
Because again, those are three of the most legendary teams of the NBA.
For sure.
But yeah, I still fuck with that heavy. Yeah. So I gotta say, all jokes aside, too, this is one of those singles I can see being on, an NBA 2K playlist, right? Because a lot of those games, even if it's like the NFL, even the NHL or MLB, they'll put a song on there if it's named after one of the star players, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and I know also that when a lot of artists drop a single, they kind of push it for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then you're like, all right, next one, this came and went or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with you're very intentional with your work, right? You're not like just gonna push it aside and cast it away. So I gotta know, do you really kind of respect the listener's attention? So am I just wondering that if that's a mentality when you drop these big singles, because you don't have an album on the way right now, right? We're on the single of it. We're on a single, but you're still going on media runs of it too.
Yeah, we got a mixtape coming out that will have that talking about all the collaborations that'll have a lot of new collaborations on it. Yeah. We'll reintroduce some of the old ones and just kind of have it as one like location to have my collaborations.
No, for sure.
In a mixtape, because on the last album that I put out, Find a Way, there were no features or anything like that. So I would like to do it like that in my solo catalog, and then with like opportunities like I had with Term to make a collaborative project. That's dope. And then everything else, as far as like singles go, this will be the mixtape. And then from here on out, I kind of really want to show people what my voice and my sound is alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
But as far as the audience attention goes, I think that basically, number one, I'm learning as I go what you need to do to make a single successful. And after that 2-week push, and when artists do fall off, there's a lot to be gained in those other 2 weeks following that. And there are ways to do it. And I'm just learning that. And I have a publicist named Danny, Danny Thompson from DNT Entertainment, who has kind of guided me through the appropriate ways to release music. And like I'm on the she's a subsidiary of the Orchard, which is under Sony. So she has we have a distribution deal with her that I can give certain tracks like Luka through the Orchard and go that avenue. And then I have my other parts of my catalog through TuneCore, where I'm just distributing independent. You know what I'm saying? So
like I said, this is all the independent grind, right? This isn't like you got some major label backing and shit like that.
No, it's just
you may have some good connections, but it all comes from the strength.
Right. I got a distribution deal. Anybody will tell you is much different than any kind of like 360 deal or any record deal like that. It's much different, or a publishing deal. It's basically, if I have a song that I own outright and I have the right to put out independently and make all the money on, I can put it through this channel, through the Orchard, and just reap the benefits of whatever that push gets me. You know what I'm saying? But it's not no like label backing like that. You know what I mean? I'm not getting a budget from Sony or nothing like that. So. Yeah.
And for the people that like don't know Lihtz, because I'm still getting he's still new to me. Like you phenomenal. Know, kind of give him a shout out, right? You know, what's something you learned from working with him that other fans of rap should like know about him?
First of all, Lihtz got great energy. He came in the room and he was just like was super charismatic, was ready to work, had a great feel for the song and for like what I was going for and how our energies could contrast on it. He's super creative. He's done a bunch of like what you would call freestyles or remixes on social media that you could check out. Like he did one to Adele's track. He's done Olivia Dean. He's done a bunch of like super creative things. He has a crazy pocket and melodic way of approaching verses and hooks that is unique that I heard, and like you'll recognize his voice really quickly. Shout out to Lihtz, super talented cat, my dog.
Of course, yeah. Because doing those remixes, right? I don't know. Have you ever heard of a rapper called Montana 300?
I've heard of him, but I'm not. Super familiar.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, SoundCloud was kind of my first avenue of music because Apple Music really it was just like, it was kind of new, right? It wasn't, it was a subscription service where I'm like, SoundCloud's free, so I'm gonna use SoundCloud. Yeah. But Montana 300, what he did was he would drop all these, like he has a fire remix to Post Malone's White Iverson. Okay. He's got fire remixes to like all these different like artists, and that's what kind of put him on the map. I mean, at least I thought he was a good...
Is he a rapper or like
Yeah, no, he's a rapper. He's from Chicago.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know like the politics over there, what he is. I just know as a consumer, I liked him. I haven't heard his name in a while or his songs, but what you had said about Lihtz, that kind of took me back to that because everyone in my school knew about him through doing stuff like that, right? And then another thing that takes me back to is on Lil Wayne's mixtape, I think it was the first Sorry for the Wait, he remixed Rollin' in the Deep by Adele. So that was kind of the connection I made there. So that's what's up though, because the avenues that you kind of got to go to push your music and to push yourself, you do got to get creative. Like, you know, it's not biting off someone else's song. It's like,
hell no.
Adele don't rap, you know what I mean? So if someone's rapping over Adele beat, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, and he's singing. Like, he has like a melodic, like he's really like in there with some melodies. And it's not like he's singing Adele's words. He's coming up with his own way to flip it, you know what I mean? So he's super creative. Like I love seeing him doing shit like that because that surprised me when I first saw it. I saw his like original music, but like when he's flipping those other type of songs, I thought that was really creative and cool.
I think you could do something like that.
Nah, for sure, bro. Oh, yeah, all day, bro. There was a time when I didn't even like listen to rap, and I would write on top of Pearl Jam beats.
No shit.
Or Pearl Jam songs.
No shit.
Yeah, I would write on because that's what I was listening to, a lot of grunge and stuff at the time. So I would write on top of like some like rock songs, but I'm rapping. I'm not like singing nothing like that. Yeah, so no, I definitely would. I would rap on anything like that.
So you respect the music industry. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of like people who do like rap, they're just stuck in that lane. I don't want to say stuck. You know, you like what you like, but they're just so set with listening to the rap that like.
Nah, my musical horizons are super wide.
Me too, bro. I got a country playlist. I got a reggaeton playlist. I got a rap playlist. I got a West Side Gun playlist. You know, it's just, I'm all over the place,
diverse,
right? Of course, gotta be absolutely. So, but with this single, right? If Luka is people's first introduction to Sumit, what is it that you want new listeners to understand about you and your music?
It's an honest voice. And Luka specifically, I'm kind of like I'm more conversational than I typically am, I guess. A lot of Find a Way was more on that like conversational type pocket, or had some of it at least. But on this, it's just an honest voice talking to you, honest reflection. Yeah, you can always expect that in all my lyrics. Like there's gonna be some introspection there, and yeah, just it sets the tone. That's what I would say. Cool. My verse on it sets the tone.
I like that. Yeah, that's real shit. Because as the consumer of Massachusetts music, right? It's not that it's hard to explain to people that don't know about the rappers out here or don't even know about the scene, even if it's like Millyz or like Stiz or something like that. Yeah, it's just showing people the everything else, right? So you can know the main faces, but these are the other people making their noise. Yep. So if I show somebody from like, let's say like Illinois or fucking whatever, some Midwest ass state, right? Yep. Sumit. I'm like, yeah,
Midwest ass state.
Well, that's what I mean, because that's
Midwest ass.
You know what I'm saying? Some Midwest ass state, the Dakotas, Nebraska, some bullshit like that, where all there is cornfields and there's no nightlife and shit, right? If I'm showing them, I'll say you, for example, Sumit's music, I'm like, this is what, we'll call them, because you're from Worcester, so that's Massachusetts. This is what we got. It ain't just tourists and old history. It ain't just sports, right? Like, this is the shit that's happening out here. Yeah. So I think it's good that you're explaining that to other people who will watch this episode, because a lot of artists I've noticed, they don't struggle, per se, to kind of describe what a new listener would get out of a person. They just can't find the words. Yeah. They know what they want to say, but it's like, it's kind of just not mumbo jumbo, but just they get lost in translation. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Or just revert to like, it is what it is. You know what it is. Like just tropes
that
right.
Yeah,
it doesn't really
they do
mean
the trope
anything.
Things. Right. Exactly. Yeah. But again, that's why I got to give you a lot of credit for being very intentional in thinking about how your career looks in the lenses of the kind of consumer. Like that, for sure. But
what's funny is I don't really even think about it like that. It's just when you ask me the question, I just think about like, all right, what are you going to hear out of Luka? You know what I mean? No, right. That's really what it is. It's kind of, it's just on the spot. It's not like something that, just so you get a clearer picture about me, is that like, it's not like I'm super strategic or intentional about this stuff. I go by like feel and like intuition, and a lot of that bleeds through in the music, and you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a lot more like understated than a lot of like punchline rappers or something, but I got as many punchlines as anybody. You just got to dig a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, that's a fact. That's a fact. And I like how you explain that too. Thank you for that. But Luka's just one of the many collaborations you've had with these artists. Yep. And I gotta honestly ask you this: when you collaborate, with the list you have and the list you will eventually collaborate with. Are you the type who kind of comes with like a clear vision, like you know what you want out of this, or is it like letting the other artist pull something different out of you?
So that's a good question. But do you mean like I have a clear vision for what I want the other artist to do,
or just like what do you want the collab to look like? So you know what I mean?
That would be the most probably intentional that I would be is about. When I hear that I have the opportunity to work with an artist, I'll dive into their stuff a little bit and get a feel for what they like and like where our paths kind of cross on a creative level, and just kind of envision like, all right, this is the feeling that I want, and then I'll go through some beats until I get that something that feels like it's it, and then from there I kind of have a vision of what the song is gonna be, or at least I'll know whether it's gonna be this or that kind of song. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah. For sure. And because it just speaks to the quality of the collaborations, right? Like it's not just some quick, oh, I did a song with this dude, or right, or if it's even random, it's again all intentional and all with purpose. Where some and the other thing too I like is you're in the studio with these guys. It's not like they just send you the verse, right? Because I've noticed
sometimes they do. But it depends. Yeah.
But even still, you still like kind of linked up with them. Whether it's like Millyz or Dave East, Summit with Method Man, Lihtz right now, you're still kind of like putting the face to the name, so to speak, right?
Yep, absolutely. We're getting in the same room at some point, to feel each other's
exactly
energy.
Right. It may not be like when you send me the verse, but down the road, like, yo, let's collab, let's link up. Actually, like
in a majority, bro, every time that we can get in the studio and have a chance to cook up with the artist, of course we would do that.
Oh, of course.
It just depends on people's schedules and like just how to make everything make sense for everybody. But at some point, getting a face-to-face meeting to at least like you said, just like you said, get a feel for the person, for your guests or something. You get a feel for the person that you're working with. Yeah. And hopefully, like, you guys hit it off, and there's like it's the start of like a growing working relationship where you can make more music down the road.
Right. Yeah, for sure. That's a great way of putting it. So, at the start of this episode, I ran down the resume, right? But with everything you kind of accomplished recently, even like last year, even as you've kind of progressed through your music career, right? Does that momentum feel motivating, or is it, and I don't mean this in a bad way, is it kind of more pressure to keep raising that bar?
Nah, the pressure is making this like a blessing to all the people that I love. Like that's the only pressure I feel. Like I don't really, as far as like raising the bar, like I'm trying to do that every time I rap anyways, or anytime I'm writing something, like it literally has to be the best thing I've ever written in my mind. Like this is it. You know what I'm saying? So
I hear that.
So like like I said, bro, earlier, like it's not no difficult pressure or anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's just this shit gotta work. Right. I gotta make this shit work.
There's no plan B.
And that is all there is to it. It's going to work. You know what I mean? It's just whatever I got to do to make it happen, that's just what I got to do. And as far as it pertains to collaborations, it's not like I got to do a Drake feature this year or it's a failure or anything like that. It's just like I'm going to make everything happen possible that I can make happen.
Say that. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of the say that part of the questions. You know what I mean?
It's
like, you know what I'm saying? Again, like as we say at the start, don't say this, say that. I want you can say that, right? But you've been in these rooms with these legends, right? Even recently with Benny, you just clicked up with him down in Philly, right?
Shout
That, right?
Yep.
So,
no, that was in Jersey.
Oh, that was in Jersey. Oh, my mistake. Apologize about that.
Good.
But being in these rooms, like I said, with these legends and industry vets, has anything about the music business kind of surprised you in maybe a good or a bad way? It's like, what kind of is like the best advice you've either gotten or like kind of came to the conclusion on being in these rooms with all these legends?
So anything is possible.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Anything is possible. Like that is the first thing that I could say about being in the room with these legends, because me being that speaks to that. Like that is that's not that shouldn't be a thing. I'm a kid from Worcester, like you know what I'm saying? Like that anything really is possible. You can make these things happen. In the music industry specifically, everything there is who you know and how much dough. That's it. That is what the music business is. It's, do you know this person? Do you have a relationship with this person? Yes or no? Do you have the money or the fee that it takes to do this thing, whatever said thing is, whatever the case may be. Like if there is a professional involved, there's going to be a fee for whatever, and everybody gets paid for their job that they do. And that's not always the case. That sometimes the relationship outweighs the financial, but that's only if there are certain things in play and like if the right people are cool or don't need to get their
that's like
their
the
cut.
S tier.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit,
It's just a different thing. But everything in the music business is who you know, how much dough. As soon as you get that, you can make the right relationships and you don't take things personally. You can understand how the shit actually works. You know what I'm saying? And what the music business means.
Yeah, for sure. because as the outside kind of looking in, I don't make music, right? So I know life is all about connections. Like they told me that at my master's degree when I was applying for freaking jobs like that. Like, it's like your network is your net worth, and that's just not like this passing phrase that like literally applies to any job you want. Like, it may not be like life, like obviously you got your best friends and stuff like that, but when you're looking at working relationships, it's like that network can get you free work.
Everybody knows what it's like to have a shitty supervisor,
right?
A shitty coworker, or somebody that you just can't get along with. Makes it very hard. You don't really want to fuck with that person.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And it could be somebody who has good intentions, or like is trying to be doing the right thing, but it's just like, yo, listen, Greg, this is the fourth time that I had to tell you. You know what I mean? This thing gotta be.
Come on, get this shit
shut
done,
the door
bro.
when you take a piss, buddy. You know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Right, exactly.
You gotta. There's certain people that you're gonna be able to get along with, get a connection with, and see, working down the road with, and then certain people you're gonna be like, absolutely not. I'm good with that.
No,
for sure.
So I feel that way now, but
right,
we ain't gotta get in. We don't gotta get into that. Yeah,
no,
trust me, bro.
Anybody.
Absolutely not. So, as we are in the new year, we're starting fresh. When you look back at your career, like we'll say, like when you first started, what's kind of been the biggest change, both musically and mentally, for you?
I think that when you start out writing, like in rapping, like everything is alone. You're secluded. You're in solitude. You're writing. You don't know, like, so still doing it for yourself is like that's at the heart of every artist. You got to be doing it like earnestly. You can't just be doing it performatively. It's not gonna. To me, at least for what I want to do, I don't want to be thinking about like how this is gonna be out for other people and like what they're gonna think about it. To like I said, going back to speaking honestly, getting an honest voice, you got to be able to just write how you feel and say what you want to say or whatever the case. So I think that being said, like that's my main focus on how I plan to like handle that. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Because it's just good to appreciate the journey, right?
Yeah.
It's not good to like be like, I shouldn't say it's not good, but like you do look for the next thing. But what you have accomplished so far, it's not nothing to sneeze at. You know what I mean? This is actually like legitimate all-time music, right? This isn't some like, oh, he was big for this allotment of time and now that's it. It's literally he's here to stay. So get used to him.
Facts.
And even if you an investor, put your stock in too. That type of shit, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
But I do gotta ask, because I've always wanted to ask you this question, but I wanted to be in the right setting.
Okay.
The hat, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you got a lot of questions about it in your life, but
hold on, let me grab
it. Yeah, for sure.
Nah, but go ahead.
No, yeah. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get it on camera. Yeah. All right. So there have been, iconic hats in history, whether, it's Indiana Jones, from anime fans, Monkey D. Luffy, but when people first see something, they notice the hat, right? So I gotta ask, like, what's the origin story, and is there a specific type of name for it?
So these are like these are wide brim fedoras.
Okay.
That's what I'm rocking. But sometimes I got like some other shit on.
Yeah.
But, so the origin of it was 2022. I put out an album called Vino, and in the process of writing that album, I was only drinking wine. It was kind of like speaking of being Italian, like I had my whole family on it. My whole family makes a cameo on the album, like in some kind of like skit, or like they got their voice on there somehow.
As fuck.
Yeah. So in the whole idea, it's really called Vino, Better with Time. It's about dealing with time better and like getting better at using time, and appreciating my family and taking the opportunity to put them on, have them on a project of mine was important to me while they're alive, and really to have them there doing that, was dope. And so when we did a photo shoot for the local paper, What's the Telegram, and we did it in like a restaurant, like an Italian restaurant with the wine racks and everything. And I had one of them hats on with some wine, and my publicist, Danny, shout out to her. She was like, I really like that look, and I think it fits you, and we need something. We were talking about like having something, not a gimmick per se, but something that's exactly what you're saying, making an impression and memorable for people to identify right away. Like, oh, okay, that's this cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like Lihtz with the mask, or it's just something that makes it instantly recognizable. Yeah.
I mean, you think of the best like artists all the time. Michael Jackson. What do you think of? You think of the sparkling glove, right?
Right, yeah.
So we do have like identifiers, and you're already like solidifying yourself of like, this is what he looks like. Mm-hmm. So how many hats do you got, and how expensive are they?
They range from like 100 to the ones that I got are like 220 or something like that. Like, it's not too bad. They go crazy. Like they definitely have brands that go crazy. But for the shit that I got, they're like $220 or something. And I got like 14 or something like that.
Ooh, okay.
But some of them, right? Some of them are the straw joints for the summer. So they're a little bit different. Oh,
I got you.
Because I had to figure out something. A lot of these are wool.
Yeah, right. You're gonna be sweating.
I went down
you're gonna be sweating your ass off on your head. Exactly. It's gonna be all
And then some of them come through, and the brim, it's not right. So it's risky. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. Yeah. I found a couple of models that I really like, and I'm in the market for more always.
Of course.
I'm running out, dog. I dead ass. I'm running out, bro. I'm sick of wearing the same ones.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about J's, right? Like, I just wear my J's until they get beat, and then I'll just buy another pair that I wanna buy again. So it's like it's the same shit. But and this is not kind of getting off topic, but I went to school for marketing, right? Mm-hmm. So when I look at artists like yourself, where it's like, all right, how is this guy marketable in like my eyes? I'm like, all right, we got the hat, we got the elite music, and we got like the mentality. So it's already checking all these boxes. So you're, in a way, like just making it so much easier to market you, right? Like I said, this isn't no gimmick. This is very intentional. Right. This is very like, I'm thinking about this. I'm not especially in the era that we're in with social media, where people, sorry about that, where people will be this gimmick, right? Just to get likes and views. That's not the case here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. People see like the hat being a gimmick is like, I guess, but like I'm still the same person.
That's what I mean. I don't see it as a gimmick, right?
Well, I'm glad that you say that. To me, it felt like it when I first started doing it, to be real. But like I'd much rather that. I can just take this shit off. You know what I'm saying? If you're whack, you're whack like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can't take that shit off.
No, right,
so, I'd much rather it just be something like this to be the gimmick than my whole persona in like coming on here and like being gangster or like being something else, just being the gimmick. You know what I mean? At least I'm myself.
Yeah. For sure. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Because I just want to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
When I saw it, it's like, that's how I can identify something, right? Like we said. But, we are we're kind of in the first quarter of 2026, right? Mm-hmm. You already got the single with Lihtz. You got something cooking with Benny. What else does 2026 hold for Sumit?
So next, I think the next track that we're doing next month, not to get ahead of myself, but it's with my dude Vado. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a Harlem rapper. He's got crazy bars. He had a big buzz back in the day, but he's always been sharp with his pen. He just killed it on Hot 97 when I was up there with him. Track is called Gucci and Tim's. Ooh, it's crazy. Okay. It's produced by my dude, my brother, Just Lou. He's from Worcester too. Yeah. But he lives out in LA now. But shout out to Just Lou. The track is absolutely fire. We got the video for that. We got another single with Corey Guns.
I know that is wild. That's a throwback, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's
what we really try to do is tap in with like lyricists that made sense, that I grew up fucking with, and that like are dope to me, and that we had some kind of, again, connections to. It's who you know, right. And that made sense. And the track with him is super fire. We shot the videos for both of those. Got a mixtape coming out with all of these collaborations, like I was saying, and the rest of the year is really just trying to do whatever I can, whether it be shows or a tour or like getting on a tour, and putting out more solo music. To just like again solidify what Summit's all about, who I am as an artist, and just kind of like give people as well-rounded of a picture of me as possible in whatever facet we can.
No, for sure.
Yes, sir.
And I gotta ask you for one more shout out because I'm sort of hip to what Western Mass has to offer musically, but other than yourself and like my boys DK and Muda is
Damn, you call Worcester Western Mass?
Yeah,
that's a real North End kid.
You know what I mean, right? Yeah. So listen, anything
Mm-hmm.
past freaking Cambridge or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Really?
But that area, right? Obviously, Joyner's the big name from there.
Yeah.
But is there anybody else kind of making noise out there that you want to maybe put me onto or something like that?
In Worcester?
Yeah, or like that area. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, first of all, for Worcester, got to shout out my dude, Mula Monopoly, because he's on his grind. He's always working. There's a bunch of Worcester artists who are doing their thing.
Like, is it more so rappers or like other genres of music?
Nah, a lot of rap, but I can't lie, bro. I'm not super duper tapped into any scene. I know a couple of cats that I fuck with personally, and
no, for sure.
that I like, but yeah, no, I know Worcester got mad talent, bro. I don't want to single nobody out, but definitely Mula Monopoly is at the top of my mind because I see him on his grind all the time. I've worked with an artist out there, Woo City Pat, who can sing and rap. He's super talented, and my dog Shug is from the Leominster Fitchburg area, so he's out my way, and he's fire. I got a track with him called Sober. That's crazy. Damn, who else? I know I'm forgetting people too.
It's the on the spot thing, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Until
Dudes from Worcester are definitely doing their thing, bro. I see
sure.
all you guys fucking grinding.
Yeah,
for real.
I think I may have overstepped and said Worcester is Western Mass because I went to school in Newton, right? I went to LaSalle University.
Okay.
And that's not too far, to Worcester. I mean, the commuter rail goes to friggin' Worcester, right? It's not like it's this. It's not like it's this hike away. So, but again, to the city kids, everything past Newton is Western Mass, even though it's the middle of Massachusetts,
That's hilarious.
For sure. But Summit, before we get out of here, man, if you want to give a shout out to anybody, please do so right now.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Danny D-Ro. Shout out to Exit Fame, Termanology, DJ E Double. Shout out to my engineer Sammy. Shout out to Ripe Tangerines.
Y'all putting a lot of work together with that.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Lihtz. Shout out to Cosmos Beats. Shout out Western Mass, 508, Worcester.
Yeah, no lie.
Worcester Mass in the building.
You heard about that?
Shout out to my dog Pete and Say That podcast, man. I appreciate you having me, my G. Thank you, bro.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, remember to keep streaming Luka. It's out right now. It's Summit featuring Lihtz. You can get it everywhere you can find music. And as always, if you like this episode, which I'm sure you did, please leave a like and comment under this video.
Do it.
And make sure to smash that subscribe button to help grow the YouTube page further. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, please hit us with a follow on there as well. And you already know where to find me. My Instagram, REPETE617. The podcast Instagram is say_that_pod. I'm really glad we got this episode in with Summit because this one, I say this with a lot of episodes, but it was a long time coming. But I'm glad we're here at the first quarter of 2026. Please keep an eye on this guy. Like I said, put your investments in him if you like to invest in musicians, right?
My guy.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's to the moon with this man right here.
I appreciate it, bro.
And you already know the drill, right? How we end these things. Don't say this, say that.
Yeah.
It's gonna help Summit. And we out. And we'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Holla. My dog.
My dog.
Appreciate it.